Good evening, everyone. Welcome here to what is going to be the sixth race this season, number 7 overall here in the Green Flag Racing League. We're going to have the Coke 600 here tonight. It's going to be 50%, so 300 miles of some really good racing here tonight. We'll be coming at you here shortly on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel. Again, Checkered Past the Present YouTube channel. It's going to be the Coke 600 here this evening on the Checkered Past the Present YouTube channel here in the Green Flag Racing League. We're so happy you guys are going to join us and continue to come on in for a little bit. Again, this is going to be a real fun one here tonight. You got a lot of battles and the points, obviously, and so some guys who are really trying to continue some hot streaks, and that all starts with our points leader there, and Mark McAttack. He's looking to make it 4 wins in a row. So again, here at the 600 here tonight, it's going to be some familiar places and some familiar faces, if you will. This was the season 1 finale race in which C-Fan absolutely dominated the final. However many races last year came up just short, and this is where Happy was able to win the championship in season number 1. So maybe Happy, who hasn't had such a happy season this year, at least for his own standards, can maybe turn his own season around at this point. So again, that's our little preview, our little pre-race show here tonight. We will be underway here shortly in the Green Flag Racing League. The Coke 600, race number 6 of the regular season, number 7 overall here on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel. Qualifying times are starting to roll on in. And pretty interesting enough, Mark McAttack, our points leader, is going to start on the pole here tonight. And 29.416 is what he ended up qualifying with. Second place, Loderman, 29.419, so 3/1000ths of a second is what these two guys are going to be separated by there on the front row, man. I tell you what, this is going to be one of those races here tonight where it's got that big race feel, and you got to be real excited about what we're going to see here tonight. The second row, Chief TP getting a really good place there in third, and then C-Fan is going to be starting there in fourth. So again, getting ready to go ahead and Oak 600 here in season 2. This is going to be a real fun one to get at and look at here tonight. You don't have too many big race feels like this when you look at the season. And again, this is what you're going to see here tonight. It's all night long, and we're going to have every single lap coming right at you here on the Checkered Past the Present YouTube channel. Beasley there in the cockpit tells us to say, hey, our co-host here on the Checkered Past the Present YouTube channel. And again, we're so happy that he's able to join us. Was not able to be in the race last week, obviously able to be back in it in the 5-car here tonight. And again, here at Charlotte, the home of racing. It's the 22 car of the Shell Pennzoil Mustang. Mark McAtack going to lead us to our first green flag of the night. And we are underway here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Again, the top 2 in points start on the front row. Chief TP, only one top 5 all year long. They're in that Napa Chevrolet. Really needs to try to find him something good here tonight. And again, should see some good racing. Mark McAtack has won 3 straight. Road America, Bristol, and then last week at Kansas. This is his second straight race that he has entered now as the points leader. And again, that 22 car driving a lot better here in the Green Flag Racing League than it has in real life this season, as he's got 1, 2, 3 car lengths lead as we hit down the backstretch for the second time here tonight. 49 laps in stage number 1. And, well, as you know at home, the Coke 600 is 400 laps. We're going to be running 200 here tonight. That's going to put your fuel window at somewhere from 21 to 25, or 26 laps, I should say. So it is going to be a mandatory 2 pit stops, and not all 3, but all 4 stages here tonight. Yes, as you know, this is the only race of the entire Cup calendar that we have 4 stages in. So it's going to be 4 somewhere around 50-lap stages. Here in stage number 1, it's going to be 49 laps. And again, a mandatory 2 pit stops, mandatory 2 pit stops in each of those stages. Mark McAtack has led each of the first 3 laps as that just completed lap number 3 there at the line. Let's go through the field here shortly, shall we? Loderman running in that second place position, a man who's had another winning streak to start the year. He won the Daytona 500 in Phoenix, and then again, you look at him, 4 top 5s, still sitting second in points. He's got to be happy where he's at right now. But again, still, he's got to get that points lead back here if he really wants to make something known. Chief TP, obviously a guy we just highlighted, a rookie here in the Green Flag Racing League, 9th in points heading into tonight. Only 1 top 5 on the year. Good qualifying spot for him there on the second row. He's been able to maintain it here through the first 5 laps or so. And then Beasy, obviously, is sitting in their 4th. C-Fan, though, qualified for. Kind of got jumbled back there on the initial start. Back up to the front here in this lead pack. The 5-car running the P4 position. Beasy Booth, our co-host here on the Checker Past and Present YouTube channel and podcast. Feeling good about his chances here tonight. He texted me pre-race and said, we might have a pretty good race car here tonight, Brett. So be interested to see what that 5-car can do. Fairlane Cobra had a good qualifying spot. He's lost off pace here of the front pack. Happy. Feeling pretty good and feeling pretty happy, if you will, about being back here at Charlotte tonight. This is a track that he's always been pretty fond of. And again, 5th in points, but when you look at the owner of the league, this is somewhere where he really thinks that maybe he can even sneak a checkered flag out here tonight as the 5-car throws a really big block on the 6 going into turn number 1. Dunlap, again, he felt like he had somewhere from a 5th and 8th place car here tonight, has lost the front pack here early. Ken Rod, who was in the 5-car last week, back in the 24 car here tonight, as he's here and is going to round out that front pack of 6 cars. Jay White falling off the pace a little bit there behind Dunlap and C-Fan. Cole Trickle making his debut in GFR tonight, driving the number 55 car. So that is your run through the field. Back to the front we go. And as you can see, we've had a bit of a lead change. The 48 and the 5 have been able to pass the 22 car here as Loderman is, as I would presume, going to try and lead his first laps of the night at the line. Beasy does have a win this season. He's the only guy not named Mark McAtack or Loderman to win a race, albeit it did count for points, but not that many, as it was his Daytona duel that he won. He has won a stage as well. Beasy actually comes in here on the outside looking in, speaking of the top 10 in points, as he is currently 11th in the point standings is Beasy coming in to tonight. So again, that front pack has now dwindled from 6 to 5, as it looks like Happy has lost the front pack. So it's Loderman, Beasy, Mark McAtack, Kenrod, and Chief TP as things have shaken out here thus far early. Still very, very early on in stage number 1. That just completed lap number 9. So when you're looking at your fuel tanks, you're probably going to get somewhere. We roughly estimated 21 to 25 laps earlier. That's going to be really, really pushing it. It's probably going to be closer to, I don't know, it's going to look more like 19 to 23 laps. So you may even, I know it's a mandatory 2-stop for each stage, depending on how far you could push it here. If you try to short pit on that first one, that might mess you up. You might have to come in and top it off there for a third pit stop. So going to be interesting to see nonetheless what guys are going to continue to do here throughout the night. Again, we'll follow along with Loderman up front. It's a long battle here. As many of you know, you watch racing in real life, this Coke 600, man, it is going to be a battle for all 4 stages. And these guys, I mean, they're probably going to run in line here, kind of following the leader a little bit, even though we've seen some shaking up here early. You're going to kind of follow in line maybe here for a little bit. As we say that, look at that red and blue, HendrickCars.com. Chevrolet's going to look to the inside of his Hendrick teammate here, Beasy. Looked like he got a little bit too much of a run there, had to look to the inside down the front stretch. And now he's going to try to find him 3 and 4. But these front 2, man, they've been the front 2 for the majority of the year. Is the 24 and the 9 have an issue? Chief TP back up on the track, but looks like he's going to lose the front pack as well as the 24 car. So this front pack, in a matter of about 6 laps, has went from 6 cars to now 3. The 48 to 22 and the 5 barely attached at the hip there. Chevrolet Ford, Chevrolet sandwich here is the front 3. Again, Chief TP, you saw he just had that issue there. He and Kenrod kind of mixing it up coming out of 4. And as you know, if you've ever raced here on NASCAR 8.5, coming out of 4 here, your right rear starts to wear on you a little bit. If you got a looser race car to start anyway, you're really going to start tilting and getting really, really loose coming there out of turn number 4. So it'll be interesting to watch here, especially late in these green flag runs, what is going to happen to these guys. I think that's something to really key in on. So again, Loderman continuing to lead the race here. Mark McAtack in second. Beasy running there in the P3 position there in the 5 car. Chief TP going to be in 4th. Kenrod behind him there in the 24 car. C-Fan made it back up to the top 5 after falling out all the way out of the top 5 really, really early. Dunlap there behind him. Fairlane Cobra pretty off the pace. And looks like the owner of the league here in Happy has had some kind of issue. It would appear that he is in the pits and he's going to be out of the race. So perhaps a blown engine here for the owner of the league here in Happy. So we'll take a break. You can ride along here. We'll give you the roof cam with Loderman as we try to figure out here what has happened to Happy. You're watching the Green Flag Racing League and the Coca-Cola 600 here on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel. So while we were under that break there, trying to figure out what happened to Happy, obviously it appears that we had a manual caution there. So again, manual caution happened. Still trying to figure out what that involved. Looked like it involved Chief TP and Loderman there, by the looks of it. So again, trying to figure all that out. We were trying to figure out what happened to our owner there in Happy. Obviously able to figure that out as well. Happy did blow, well, what we call a motor here in the Green Flag Racing League. And then, again, these guys are going to come back out on the track. It would appear after that manual caution that we just had. And maybe it was just our first green flag pit stop. Everybody came down pit road. So trying to figure out here what all occurred as we're going to go now through the field. Got some other guys still pitting now, so maybe it was just all the guys coming down pit road. Kenrod was listed as the leader. And yes, it was just going to be everybody coming down pit road there. So we apologize. Thought it was, ended up being a manual caution, not a manual caution after all. So Loderman has gotten out to a really, really big lead here. Able to gap the field after that last pit stop. Or at least gap the guys that he was running with. Loderman going to be in first. Behind him there, the 22 car of Mark McAttack. Beasy going to be right behind him. And then C-Fan, who again had a really, really rough start to this race, but he's put himself back in contention for some serious stage points here tonight. So again, that's how everybody stands thus far. Continue to follow along up front here with Loderman. First green flag stop, looking like what we've seen here. Guys are going to cycle through 18 to 21 laps on fuel. Tires don't seem to be that big of an issue deep in a run. And obviously all these things are dependent upon your setup and what's going on with that. But so far tonight, it doesn't seem like tires have been that big of an issue. Don't really see a tire fall off until you get to about 5 to 6 laps into a run. That's your first initial fall off is what we've been able to see here from the guys thus far with our in-cars and the data that we've been able to get here in the booth. And then otherwise, outside of that, you don't see that last major fall off until about that last 5 laps of the run. So that'll be something to continue to look at. Now, seeing anywhere from 29, I think the lowest we've seen is a low 29.41 perhaps is a lap. Most guys averaging about a 29.5 throughout the run. And as you see right here, this pack made up of Mark McAttack, Beasy Booth, and C-Fan. These guys are using the draft to their advantage right now, starting to make up a lot of time there on that 48 car in Loderman. Another pack back here, the 9 car in Chief TP, Kenrod, and Dunlap trying to make up some time. Fairlane Cobra and Jay White off the pace, who just joined us. Happy, who was really trying to make up some time tonight and really trying to make up some points as well. He's making up time on the track, ends up lagging out, or as we say, blowing the engine, if you will, and he's going to be down in the pits. And this is that second pack, if you will, of the 9, the 24, and the 77. And then Cole Trickle still trying to make up some time in that 55, back up here to the leaders who are making a lot of time here, or should I say the second batch of the leaders, obviously in his own class right now is Loderman. But really starting to make up some time right here is we're nearing over halfway done with the stage here from Charlotte here in stage number 1. 24 to go, so we're actually over halfway done here in stage number 1. It'll be 23 to go here at the line at this time for Loderman and the boys up front. So again, Charlotte isn't everyone who runs here in the NASCAR Heat 5, and they run these next-gen cars. I mean, it's very realistic, right? You can manipulate the draft to have such a big advantage with these race cars. And as you've seen, I mean, Loderman came out of the pits maybe a second and a half, 2 second plus lead. And just like that, the 22, the 5, and the 20 have now all of a sudden made this a race again. As the 22 is going to look to the inside of the 48, heading it off in the 1. Again, the 5 cars got up there and been competitive tonight, but so far we've only had 3 different cars lead laps. It's been those 2 up front, the 48 and the 22, as well as during that pit cycle there, the 24 of Kenrod, also able to lead some laps. No caution flags thus far, knock on some wood there at home, not trying to jinx anybody here. We had 11 entries in this race here tonight, and with Happy blowing that engine there early on, I think it was lap 12, we are going to have everybody else who's currently competing will end up with a top 10 finish here tonight. So perhaps something to hang your hat on, if you will. Beasy trying to get that low line going. I don't know how well that's going to play out for him. As they flare out diamond style, Mark hits the wall. Taps it again. He's going to be out of the pace and out of the groove as that's 20 to go here in stage number 1. You don't see that too often here from the Season 2 points leader there in that Shell Pennzoil Mustang. And again, Mark McAtag, a very impressive stat for him. He and Kenrod in the 24 car this season, of the 6 races that we've already ran, they have 6 top 5s. I mean, that is just very, very, very impressive in itself. And Kenrod currently sits 4th in the points. He's also a rookie here this year in that 24 car. Pretty unfortunate deal for Kenrod last week, as you see him get handed out all the time. Ended up getting a penalty there in that 24 car. And you know what? You got to give Kenrod some credit here in this Rainbow Warrior Exalta car, in this Chevrolet Camaro. He told us this week, I got to make up for mistakes that I made, right? He didn't put the blame on anybody else. He didn't say, I shouldn't have got penalized. He took up for it. He said, now that I made the mistake that I made, I got to go out on the track. I got to make up for it. So far tonight, since this group lost the initial leaders on that the first 10 laps of the race pretty much. I think they lost the front pack on about lap 6. They have not been able to cover through the first batch of green flag pit stops. But second batch of green flag pit stops going to be coming up here relatively soon. And Jay White, who has now transferred over our in-car from Happy, who we usually ride with, he's riding in 9th here tonight, as we'll look on the inside of the cockpit here with Jay White, or rather from his rooftop. Again, Jay White being so gracious to let us ride around with him. Cole Trickle, new addition to the league this week, joining the league mid-season, running in the 10th place position. But back to the front we go. The 2 Hendrick Chevrolets battling it out yet again. The 5 and the 48 battled last week, though. It was not Beasy in the 5. It was Kenrod in the 5. Mark McAtag, though, inevitably able to come out on top. Penske had a 1-2-3 run with the 22 to 12 and the 2. The 2 of Garv and the 12 of Copenhagen not in the race this week. But the 22 of the Mark McAtag Shell Pennzoil Mustang came out on top, looking to make it 4 in a row this week. But Lodeman trying to spoil that win streak and pick up his 4th win of the season. As that just completed lap number 34 here of stage number 1. So currently having about 15 laps to go here in the stage. Guys, his fuel lights are starting to come on, and that's why you're going to see Mark. He's going to dive down there. Looks like he and the 5 car Beasy are going to come down pit road this time. But I have to presume a couple other guys are going to come with them. So I already see a car up there in the distance down pit road. We'll continue to file everybody, or watch everybody file down pit road. I would assume the 48 and the 20 are going to come this time. They take hard lefts down the backstretch, and yes, they will. Chief TP and Dunlap coming down. C-Fan behind the 48. Beasy pulling into his pit box. Oh, the 22 and the 27 get hooked. 55, a Cole Trickle down there. Fairlane Cobra's going to make his way off. Dunlap down there. TCR Kenrod making his way on pit road. Just about locking him up there. Jay White also on pit road currently. We'll go back to the front here. And now we'll look at the 22 and the 5. And we will see now how they're going to be able to merge back out. So again, they pitted 1 lap earlier than the 48 and the 20. Again, this 22, 3 straight races won. Beasy there in the 5. He hasn't had a top 5 in a very, very, very long time. Actually only has one top 5 all year. That came back in his Daytona dual win. So we're talking about a guy here in this 5 car. Not only could he use a top 5, he could use a run like tonight in a very, very, very big way. So now you see Loderman coming down the front stretch. Again, Loderman 4 top 5 so far this season. He's got to watch out for it every single kind of track. That is what has made him really the man, if you will, to watch this season. Coming past the line that time, 12 to go. 12 to go here in stage number 1. So again, it's the 48, the 22, the 20, and the 5. 12 to go here in stage number 1. We'll let you get the aerial view that we know you all so love here on the stream. Just for a moment, though, we'll take our final break of stage number 1 here in the Coke 600 in the Green Flag Racing League. Here on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel. Nine laps, 8 here at the line is what remains here in stage number 1. It's a 4-car battle here between Loderman, C-Fan, Beasy, and the 22 car of Mark McAttack. All 4 of these cars, you got a Chevrolet, a Toyota, another Chevrolet, and a Ford, all battling it out here up front. These guys are putting on a show, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you what here. 8 laps to go in stage number 1. Loderman with 3 wins this season. They're in the 4th place position. Mark with 3 wins this season. C-Fan led the league in wins last year, won 3 out of the last 4 races. Which one did he not win? The one right here, the Season 1 championship finale at Charlotte, in which Happy was able to come out victorious. And then Beasy Booth, one of the admins in the league, the co-host here, the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel, 1 top 5. That was his only win back in the Daytona duel that he ran. Hadn't been able to pick up a top 5 since. You got 4 guys, all with 4 different dynamics up here in the top 5, and we're going to get to see them battle it out here, coming to 6 to go. And whoa, like the 20 car just disappeared. What happened to C-Fan? Of the night, just like we seen from Happy earlier. Disappeared clean out of clear air there. So now the front 4 moves to the front 3 as Beasy's going to look to the inside. Loderman running about a lane and a half up off the apron. Really trying to protect that low line. Mark's going to go with the 5 car here. No tango partner for the 48, so the 5 and the 22 should be able to get a big run down here. Not able to do so. Tell you what, Loderman's got something figured out there, ladies and gentlemen. Running that lane and a half up off the apron there. I mean, he is protecting big time right now. Any runs that the guys behind him should get. Beasy, though, going to get a big run, trying to slingshot. Side drafts off the front bumper, not quite clear, still not clear. And he's finally going to clear Loderman as they're coming to 4 to go. So Beasy Booth, a guy that could use the points in the worst way, especially in a race where you have 4 different stages, is going to have to contend with the points leader who's been on his back bumper. The 2 guys actually top 2 in points. The 5 car 11th in points. Could he make the splash that pushes him towards a regular season title as he takes 3 to go here at the line? Now he's going to have a tango partner there and his Hendrick teammate in Loderman in the 48 car. The best thing for Beasy is seeing that 22 of Mark McAtack running side by side. If we know one thing about the driver of the 5, he's going to throw some big blocks here as we head off into 3 and 4. Coming to 2 to go. Tire shouldn't be an issue here. Loderman still going to be pushing. He's in that regular season points battle. He knows how these points are going to add up. Looks to make the pass on the inside. Now, he's ran a lane and a half up all night. Beasy been hugging that apron. Obviously, the preferred line goes to the 48 car. Look at Mark. He's going to move down to the inside. Says Beasy can't do the dancing with you anymore as they head off into 3 and 4. Coming to 1 to go here in stage number 1. If the racing's going to be like this all night, ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't go anywhere. White flag displayed here in stage number 1 in a 3-car battle here for the stage win. Loderman retakes his place up in the P1 position after Beasy got out and led the last 3 laps. The 22 of Mark McAtack really steers it down there into the inside. Can he make it stick on the inside? He washes up ever so slightly, bumps into the 48. Oh, these guys are going to be 3 wide coming off of 4. Mark in the dirt. Swerves back up to get second, but Loderman going to win stage number 1. Beasy coming in the 3rd place position. Man, what a finish there from those top 3. Beasy in the 5 car showing off that he can stick with the 2 tops in the points lead this year. We'll have the complete stage results here for you in just a moment. Again, the 48, the 22, and the 5. Those are going to be your top 3, obviously. Elsewhere in the pack, it's going to be C-Fan, Loderman, and actually C-Fan, who we thought ended up lagging out here. We'll have to check with that. Is what we had, C-Fan just disappeared out of thin air, and that is what it looks to be. So, again, it's Loderman, Mark, and Beasy there in the top 3. Chief TP, Dunlap, Kenrod, Fairlane, Cobra, Jay White, and Cole Trickle is how that stage is seemingly going to end. As well, how it looks here, maybe C-Fan was in competition and did win that first stage. Again, from what we're showing here on our stream, ladies and gentlemen, it is showing no 20 car in the race right now. But from what we're seeing here on the track, the 20 car is still showing up in the results. So we'll continue to have an eye on that here for you. As the 48 car won it on our stream, but the 20 car ended up winning it from what we've seen out in the field. So we'll reset the field here for you shortly. Again, it's the 48 of Loderman, as it would appear on our screen here, is leading the race. It's going to be 47 laps here in stage number 2. Same as the first, though, despite being 2 laps shorter. Same as the first in the sense that you are going to have those 2 mandatory pit stops. 2 mandatory pit stops here. As, again, once we get through stage number 2, then we will be halfway done with the race. As everybody flares out there, Kenrod down in the grass. Cole Trickle going to be off the pace now. As Cole, unfortunately, finished there in 10th in stage number 1. And again, just trying to see here if this 20 car is still in the race. That is our big issue right now. So what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to take a moment. We're going to pause our broadcast, see if we can fix any issues on our end. So, again, we're going to pause the broadcast just here momentarily as we'll rejoin you here in stage number 2 shortly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, we've been able to work out any kinks there that we might have had in our broadcast. So good news is for our listeners and viewers at home, C-Fan is still on the track. We were able to go over and confirm that there in the racing group chat, and he still is on the track. We're able to restart our broadcast there, or reload back in, I should say. Obviously, the 20 car, you see him there on your screen. We'll actually go along with him here for just a second. He is going to be back on the track. That's good news here. So he did actually win at stage number 1. We were not deceived there by what we've seen on our end car there from Jay White. So C-Fan did win stage number 1. So it's unfortunate that we didn't get to see him there in that finish. And for all of you at home, but just to recoup here, as we come into the line, this will complete lap number 9. That is lap number 9 here this time around in stage number 2. Our stage 1 finish, C-Fan, Loderman, Mark, Beasy. That's going to be your top 4 there. Chief TP, Dunlap, TCR, Kenrod, Fairlane, Cobra. That's 5th through 8th. And then Jay White and Cole Trickle rounded out the top 10. Obviously, our lone DNF, at least thus far, is going to be Happy, who blew a motor around lap number 12. So that is where we stand as of now. So again, C-Fan, not Loderman, the winner there of stage number 1, able to pause the broadcast, figure that out, and now the 20 car is back on our screen, as we were all confused there about the scoring, I think, and about how, I mean, we all seen it there on the stream. If you can go back, you can rewind it here. We seen the 20 car just disappear out of thin air, the same way that the 6 car had done, and we thought that his night was over. Well, turned out it ended up being something here with a broadcast, not sure what it was. We were able to restart our broadcast here, and everything is all good to go. So let's reset the field here for you. Obviously, it's the top 2 that we saw a lot there at stage number 1, despite C-Fan actually able to steal the stage. It's the 22 of Mark McAttack, and then Loderman running there in the P2 position. Back in 3rd, Beasy. C-Fan behind him in the 4th place position. Fairlane Cobra has worked himself into his first top 5 running order of the night there in 5th. Chief TP going to be in 6th. And look at this move here from Loderman, as he's going to move down to the inside, get a big time run as a train of cars is going to follow that white 48 Camaro down the back stretch. Dunlap attached to the hip of Chief TP there in 7th. Kenrod falling slowly off the pace there in 8th. Jay White is going to be in 9th, and then Cole Trickle back in 10th. That is everyone on the track currently running. So Loderman with an aggressive move. Oh, all these guys get real loose. C-Fan uses the dirt, or rather the turf, whatever you want to call it here, at Charlotte Motor Speedway to his advantage to get himself back there on the track. As the 48 is stretched a bit of a lead out here. Be 33 to go in the stage, or AKA 14 laps completed here in stage number 2 at the line this time around. First batch of green flag pit stops will be starting here shortly. They're in stage number 1, that first green flag pit. We've seen so many guys come down together and in a straight line. We believe that we were seeing a manual caution. I mean, it was unreal, dude, what we ended up seeing there. But again, we'll see if all these guys seem to follow each other again. Green flag stop should be coming here in the next 2 to 3 laps, as we near lap number 17 here in stage number 2. Again, Loderman won his Daytona Duel, won the 500, and then able to win the next week to make it 3 in a row, that 48 car. Very strong, running part-time last year. He also won Phoenix to begin this year. Ran part-time last year, impressed a lot of people in the sense of, well, he came in, guy from West Virginia, guy everybody knows here in the NASCAR Heat 5 community, but he impressed everybody just stepping into this league. Won his first race, won his second race. C-Fan took back the crown there at Bristol after Loderman had some issues, and Loderman comes back, wins one more race. C-Fan, after joining a little over halfway through the year, he had a run where he won 6 of 7 stages. Is Mark McAttack going to be our first taker here on the green flag pit stops? And I mean, he's another guy, right? Let's talk about Mark here for a moment. He's a guy, a rookie in the league this year, who has really turned into a leader of this group, right? I mean, he has been the guy everybody's looked to. They got a beat, and for good reason right now. If you're just joining us, started in Bristol, then Road America, then Kansas, right? 3 all different types of tracks. Mark has shown it doesn't matter where we go, doesn't matter who he's going against, doesn't matter who's out there on the track. He is going to be somebody to reckon with here in his Mustang. And then here tonight, obviously there in stage number 1, continued to show that he and Loderman have led the 2 most laps and have led all but 3 laps of this race. C-Fan also got out and led some laps. Beasy as well. So again, Mark with that 3rd place finish in stage number 1. I'd be willing to say, and if we have to go back and look at it, I think Mark is now, I think that was his lowest stage finish. He's had quite some time. We saw those 3 cars come on the last lap. Everybody else here now. Loderman, Chief TPC Fan, Beasy. Who else we got on pit road right now? Kenrod, also Fairlane Cobra coming back down. Dunlap also down as well. And then obviously Happy, he's our lone DNF of the night. So Kenrod's going to get off pit lane. Assume Jay White, he's already been down. He came down with Mark. So we'll see how Mark is going to do with the front pack here. The front pack now trying to merge back on. The 22 is obviously going to try and beat all of them out. He's going to beat everybody except for that Ally Chevrolet Camaro. Well, I don't want to speak too soon here. If he can clear him down into 3 and 4, and he does, what a move there from Mark. So I'd stand corrected. The 22 is going to come around and lead this lap after he does clear everybody as we go down in, come across the start-finish line. Now Jay White is still considered the leader here, but that was the battle for the lead that we just saw as the 22 will now retake the lead. Excuse me, not the 16. The 27 was considered the leader, Fairlane Cobra, who's going to now merge into traffic on the backstretch. So after the green flag stops, it's the 22, the 48, the 20 of C-Fan, Beasy there in the 5, and then the Fairlane Cobra Mustang is going to move into the 5th place position. However, unlike that first pit stop, we saw Loderman get way out front there in stage number 1, and then there was a group of 3 to 4 cars that was able to catch him behind him. Now, if you see here, these 2 are locked together, and that's not good news for anybody if the 22 and the 48 can get locked up. The 20 probably about half a second behind, and then probably about, I don't know, another 10 car lengths behind him is going to be that 5 car. And then it looks like Beasy could have some help there in the 27 and way off in the distance, the 9 and the 24. Loderman, this isn't as much about drafting. This is a place where you can pass, unlike last week at Kansas. He says, I want to get back in front here. I want to take the lead for a little bit. 48 car will do so. Seems like we've had a lot of those here tonight. No matter what he has wanted to do, he has been able to do it, and it's really been that way ever since he joined the league last season. 48 car has been very, very strong. You talk about a humble guy. Everybody loves this guy here in Loderman because of how humble he is. But it's no different here with our second place car of Mark McIntyre. I mean, these are 2 guys. They dominate week in and week out, right? I mean, these are 2 guys you're going to see at the front every single week. But if you stick around, and I'm sure you will, and you listen to our post-race interviews here tonight, I mean, these are the 2 guys that, again, we mentioned it, they've dominated this year. And just such humble guys. You really, really, really enjoy talking to them just because of, like we said, who these guys are. And we're going to continue to ride along with them, and we're going to take a short break here on the Green Flag Racing League Coke 600 at Charlotte. 21 laps to go here in stage number 2, in which the longest race of the year is nearing its halfway point here at the Coke 600 in Charlotte, or rather should I say Concord, North Carolina, as it's the 48 and the 22, familiar sights out front here in the Green Flag Racing League, number 1 and number 2 in the points this year. Mark leading the points, and then Loderman there second in points. Let's take a quick look at the standings here as they entered tonight. As again, when you look at what these guys have done this year, it's been nothing short of impressive, especially these front two. 325 points is how many Mark has been able to score this year, and then 31 points behind him is Loderman. They've built up a little cushion of Copenhagen, who's not here tonight, in third. Kenrod in fourth. Happy looks like he's going to lose some points here tonight in fifth, as C-Fan was only 12 points behind him in sixth coming into tonight. So falling out of the race early is really going to hurt Happy here tonight, as he could fall all the way down, possibly out of the top 8 here in points, as Dunlap and Fairlane Cobra there in 7th and 8th. Very tight. Chief TP down in 9th with 189. Garv rounding out the top 10 with 179. After that, Beasy in 11th. Jay White in 12th. Biker in 13th. Fu Nugi, who is only going to run part-time anyway, in 14th. Billy in 15th. And Dark Knight in 16th. So that is how your standings look in the Green Flag Racing League thus far this season. Again, stage number 2 here, and it'll be 17 laps to go at the line. So that second batch of green flag pit stops could be coming at you at any point. As we continue to await those, let's look at our rookie points thus far coming in to this evening. Mark is obviously going to lead your rookie points as well. Loderman in second, tied with Copenhagen. Kenrod in fourth, and then a big drop-off to Fairlane Cobra in fifth. Garvin sixth. Chief TP in seventh. Dog Pound, who runs Xfinity exclusively, in eighth. Funugi in ninth, and Parky in 10th. So that's your look at the point standings here this evening, and as we currently stand here in the Green Flag Racing League. So again, Loderman continues to lead out front this 200-lap event here tonight, which would be equivalent to what we would see in real life with the Xfinity cars. Again, they run 200 laps, 300 miles. As well, let's look at this. Mark, who short-pitted, albeit just by 1 lap on that first green flag pit stop. He's going to do the same here in the second batch of green flag pit stops in stage number 2. Jay White also going to follow him down pit road, so it'll be interesting to see. Again, can the strategy play into the hands of this 22 car, and he come out and lead? But by how much can he come out into the lead? We've seen him come out in front of that 48 there just a moment ago, but Loderman had no issues getting past him, back past him, I should say. As Loderman doesn't come in this time either. Chief TP, Beasy going to come in. Beasy really having to get that thing lowered down. C-Fan's still out running. Fairlane Cobra is as well. We're going to find the 22, who's just now going to exit pit road. So we'll see how things start to put together here. Loderman still not going to come this time. Wow. So Mark's merging on the backstretch. I'd have to assume the 48 car is going to come here soon. I mean, it's one of the points here where you know you're going to have to pit, and you're going to have to come at some point real soon here, as we see the 48 car take that hard left. So maybe, just maybe, this is where he's going to come down pit road here. And it would appear, yes, the 48 car will be coming this time around. Chief TP as well as Beasy going to be merging back out onto the track. Mark has been back out on the track. Currently, Jay White able to get his lap back, so we'll ride it on board with him. Be 13 laps to go. 13 laps to go here in the state. So again, just trying to see how everything is going to shake out here between the 22 and the 48. I'd have to assume the 22 is going to have a lot of time here on this 48 car, especially after he short pitted him by 3 laps. You usually don't see that much of a discretion in pitting there. Here comes the 48 out of the pits, and yeah, Mark's going to have him by a lot here, as he's going to take the lead, and it's just a matter of by how much at this point. Strategy does not play out in the hands of the 48 on this run, as Mark is kind of taking that high to low line that you just don't see that much. As he comes around this time, 11 to go here in stage number 2. So it's the 22, then the 48. Where's everybody else shaking out here? Chief TP and Beasy running in 3rd and 4th, respectively. Trying to see if anybody else is running in front of C-Fan. It would appear Fairlane Cobra in 5th, Kenrod in 6th. C-Fan, I think, as it looks on our screen, looks like he's running back in 8th. Or excuse me, might be running back in 7th. Jake White going to be in 8th. C-Fan going to be all the way back in 9th. So I would assume some kind of penalty there. Is Dunlap's actually going to be in 7th. Kenrod in 6th. Cole Trickle in 10th. So C-Fan must have had some kind of issue there on pit road. So again, a rather interesting strategy play. Mark McAttack does the short pit deal, and that catches everybody by surprise. So this time at the line, 9 laps to go. We'll rejoin you here in a couple as our green flag pit stops are done here in stage number 2. The 22, it looks like right now, if he doesn't make a mistake, knock on wood, for those Shell Pennzoil Ford fans, he's going to have stage 2 in the bag here. And the Checker Past and Present YouTube channel. As Mark comes off of turn number 4, 6 laps to go. 6 laps to go there for the 22 car, who used the strategy to be his best friend here in stage number 2 at Charlotte. Able to get way out front there of the 48 car of Loderman, and Mark bearing something really, really bad happening to him here. Looks like he's going to have quite the stage 2 runaway from the rest of the pack. We talked about it finishing 3rd there in stage number 1. What we have, that's based off, again, what we've been able to find here. The lowest stage finish he's had in the past couple weeks. He's finished in the top 2 in almost every single stage here the past couple weeks. So, again, Mark is really, really, really been on fire after getting the pole here tonight. What a surprise. No, not at all. Again, 3 straight wins for him. Looking to make it 4 straight here tonight. Loderman running in that 2nd place position. That is where he finished in stage number 1. Looks like, barring something real, real big happening here with 4 to go, that's where he's going to finish in stage number 2 as well. This is an interesting battle, though. Back here fighting for 3rd, Chief TP, who we mentioned qualified on the 2nd row here tonight. Having a really, really good run here in the 2nd stage. Him and Beasy, they've been attached at the hip for about the last 20, 25 laps or so, really battling it out, helping each other out. They came together on pit road. They came off together, came off pit road together. So, again, they've been battling here for this 3rd place position. Beasy finishing 4th in stage number 1. And if he cannot complete the pass on on Chief TP, that is where he will finish this stage as well. So we'll go back to the front here as the stage getting ready to conclude. Two laps to go here at the line for Mark as he's going to come up with some lap traffic here in the 55 of Cole Trickle. Looks like Loderman went and got those tires. Probably about, what, 3 to 4 lap fresher tires than what Mark has. Loderman, it looks like he's been able to make up a little bit of time from what we've been able to tell on the leaderboards, albeit nothing, obviously, he was going to be able to make up here in this final green flag run of stage number 2. So Mark is going to come off of turn number 4, coming to the white flag here in stage number 2. As you know, running 4 stages here at Charlotte, they're all going to be evenly distributed with the 600. It's 100 laps, 100 laps, 100 laps, and you guessed it, 100 laps is what we see there at the 600. Here tonight, it's going to be 50, 50, 50, and 50. However, with that, how the game does, it usually comes out to about 40, somewhere between 46 to 48 laps. Here in stage 2 is 47. Much of those 47 laps dominated by Mark McIntyre, he is going to get another stage win. Stage number 7 he has won this season here in the Green Flag Racing League. Loderman comes in that second place position. So we will continue to see where everyone else comes in at here as we get the stage results here in just a moment for you. Looks like Chief TP, Beasy there in 3rd and 4th. Fairlane Cobra is going to come in a 5th place position. That's going to be your top 5. Dunlap 6th, Kenrod 7th, Jay White 8th, C-Fan 9th after what we presume to be some kind of pit road penalty that C-Fan picked up after he won stage number 1, and then Cole Trickle coming in 10th. So Loderman currently with 18 stage points. Mark also is going to end up with 18 stage points. Beasy been Mr. Consistent tonight, finishing 4th in back-to-back stages, so he'll pick up 14 stage points thus far. C-Fan, he is going to end up with 12 stage points after the first 2 stages. So now it'll be time to start stage number 3. Again, another long one here. Another mandatory 2 stops for all these guys as Mark leads them to the green flag. 47 laps is going to be our number here in stage number 3. Beasy looking to be awfully aggressive here to start the stage. At 5 car with a train behind him, led by the 48. They kind of slide up a little bit in the middle of 3 and 4. 22 with no help out back, all the way back to that 9 car who's trying to merge back into the low line. Beasy got out and led some laps there in stage number 1, looking to do the same here in stage number 3. As we know in real life, the track continues to change as the stages change, as it goes from light to dark, as Jay White, way down low there, decides to merge back up. Will the track change, and how will it change here for these guys tonight? As Fairlane Cobra and C-Fan make some contact there in the back. Let's go check that out. Got one guy down there in the grass. That looked to be Dunlap. As everybody having some issues there. Ken Rod with his hot rod. Been able to slowly work his way back to the front here tonight. Jay White, after that skirmish, is going to find himself in his highest running position of 6th here this evening. Cole Trickle, he's had some front-end damage, is trying to find some pace here tonight that he has inevitably struggled to find here in his debut. Beasy, though, the man to be reckoned with at the point right now. So he sits in 1st, Mark behind him in 2nd, and then the 48 car of Loderman in 3rd. As these guys have slowed down, looks like a manual caution. Not sure where that occurred at. I'm going to assume it's some of that contact we saw there on the front stretch that led to this manual here. As it'll be our first manual of the night, and we haven't had a manual actually in all of our GFR broadcasts, so As we have this manual, we will take a break as these guys will come down pit road. As they come down pit road, we'll continue to keep it silent here on the Green Flag Racing League on the Checkered Past the Present YouTube channel. All right, so how is this going to throw a wrench in some strategy? I think this is going to be the question to be asked here. Okay, we have not had a manual caution in quite some time here in the Green Flag Racing League, this being the first we've had in a while. We haven't had one in a cup race in Lord knows how long. And now, having it so early in a stage here, these guys came down, they got 4 tires, they topped off on the fuel. So what is this going to mean for these guys now strategy-wise? You got to make a mandatory 2 stops anyway. That can be counted as the first. But what is this going to mean here in the long run? Again, Beasy and Mark McAtack on the front. Loaderman Chief TP on row number 2 there. Jay White in the 16 car. C-Fan in the 20 on his outside. So the 5 and the 22 on the front. 48 and the 9 on row 2. And then the 16 and the 20 there on row number 3 as we come back to resume this race. Again, the fuel life has been around 18 to 20 laps here tonight as Beasy's going to be the man to launch him on the front, continuing to lead laps. He has now joined the Loaderman as well as the 22 car there of Mark as the 3 guys to lead double-digit laps here tonight. So the 5, the 22, and the 48 have all led double-digit laps here this evening as the 5 car, bit of a slingshot move there by the 22s. They'll get around him and move back into the lead position. Got to give a big shout out to Jay White there in that colorful orange and black 16 car in his highest running position of 4th place tonight. Loaderman there in 3rd place. 41 laps remain here in stage number 3. So let's put our crew chief headsets on right quick. It would tell us here on that 18 to 20 lap margin, you are going to have to run that thing dry twice to complete the stage on 1 more pit stop. You're going to have to run it dry right here, and then you're going to have to run it dry to get to the very, very end of stage number 3. Is it possible? Why, yes, it is, if you're asking at home, but is it probable? No, it is not. So should we see these guys maybe short pit and then come in for that other pit stop and then come in for... No, I'm just playing. We're definitely going to have to see these guys make 2 more pit stops. That would be more than probable here if I had to assume. 22 back out front, led the most laps tonight, finished 3rd in stage 1, won stage number 2. Back out here at the point here in stage number 3. So again, Chief TP, he's moved up to the 4th place position there. Jay White got shuffled out back. Kenrod has moved into the top 5 there in that 24 car. Chief TP been a guy we focused on here a lot tonight because when he's had the track position, he has been as good as anybody on track when it comes to lap time. So he's somebody we want to continue to look at here. Jay White continuing to go in reverse as C-Fan has moved up to 6th. Fairlane Cobra up to 7th. And Cold Trickle has moved into the top 8 for the first time tonight, running in that 8th place position. Jay White there in 9th and Dunlap back in 10th. Back to the front here as Mark McAtack currently leads the Coke 600. He's led most of it here tonight along with Loaderman. They've led about 90% of the race. The other 10% has been divided upon that 5 car of Beasy, the 24 of Kenrod, and the 20 of C-Fan, who only needed to lead 2 laps, but that's what he led. They're to end stage number 1, and that is where he won the stage. It's actually going to be C-Fan's first stage win of the year as he enters tonight 6th in points. He said he's looking for a top 5 here tonight, but it looks like he's got a car to do a lot more than that. As who's going to lead this lap at the line? That was a little bit too close to tell. If I had to put my money on it, it would be the 22 of Mark McAtack. But as we go into one, that 5 car, Beasy, is now going to lead the race coming off of 1. So again, this fuel strategy as it would play out. Jay White, we're following his in-car. That last time at the line is going to be 36 to go in the stage. He had 12 laps of Sunoco race fuel in there. So that's going to put you at about, what, 23 to 24 laps to go if you ran it dry. And as we've seen, 18 to 20, maybe 21 laps is about what you're going to get on a tank here. And that just doesn't seem probable. As Beasy, Chief TP, and Loderman all 3 wide. And that is making his attack to get away from the field. So again, some really, really good racing. They get it sorted out back. Loderman is going to lead this pack with with Kenrod and looks like C-Fan right behind him. Fairlane Cobra rounds out the top 5. Cole Trickle in his highest running order tonight in 6th. C-Fan gets shuffled out, gets hit by Cole Trickle. Oh, that's not good. C-Fan, who had a race-winning car here tonight. Well, this is not going to be good, potentially to end stage, or halfway through stage number 3. Was 2 cars involved, so we'll see if they're just going to race back to the line. I would have to assume so here. See if Mark McAtack is going to slow up into turn 1, and he does. So it'll be our second manual caution of the evening. If you're just joining us here on the Checkered Past the Present YouTube channel, it's the Coke 600 here in the Green Flag Racing League. These guys had a manual in lap number 7 where they came down and pitted. And then another manual here. They hadn't had a manual in quite some time, and now having 2 in stage number 3. Stage 1, won by the 20 car there in C-Fan, who you just seen involved in that incident. The 22 here of Mark McAtack winning stage number 2. And as we do, as they enter pit road, we're going to give you some silence just to roar the engines and the pit stops here on the Checkered Past the Present YouTube channel. So now, after these guys pit here, 20 to go. It'll be 19 to go this time as they'll retake the green flag. 19 laps to go. Or excuse me, pardon me, 32 laps to go. I was thinking about our discretion of our fuel window, which is about 19 to 20 laps. So it's going to be interesting here now how it plays out. It'll be 32 laps to go at the line. You put that Sunoco race fuel in there, so now you're going to have to come back down and pit between 11 to 13 laps to go here at the end of stage number 3. Mark McAtack, Fairlane Cobra there on the front row. Inside of row 2 is going to be Loderman, outside Kenrod. Inside row 3, Jay White, Chief TP to his outside, as we will resume this race after our second manual caution here of stage number 3. In the Geico restart zone, it'll be Mark McAtack who will launch him out of there. Beasy there in the 5 car was able to get out some leads, some laps. He got shuffled back earlier. About got caught in that mess between the 20 and the 55 there moments ago. Mark with an elite launch there on the fresh new Goodyear tires down the back stretch. Again, 30 laps to go this time at the line. So again, that 11 to 13 lap to go threshold in this stage, if you run it long, is going to be where we see these guys start to come back. However, now strategy comes into play. You know that as we see guys bumping and banging there in the back, everybody flares out, everything okay. We know that you can make it, though, 18 to 20 laps on a tank of fuel, so will the window open up with 20 laps to go here in the stage? This is where strategy starts to get really, really interesting here, and especially after you get a couple calls. Loderman in second. Let's go to the field, shall we? Kenrod running there in the 3rd place position. Fairlane Cobra in the 4th place position. Beasy in the 5 car running 5th. Dunlap running in the 6th place position. Again, Chief TP is going to be running behind him. Jay White, C-Fan, and Cole Trickle there in the back to round out the top 10. So who will we see short pit? Who will we see running empty? And who will we see do something in between there? If you remember correctly, Mark was the guy there at the end of stage 2 who ended up short pitting and short pit Loderman there by about 3 laps. And that's how he won that stage by a second and a half. Beasy back in the wall there. As he got into the 9 car, it appeared, and bounced off the wall and then bounces back to the end of that pack. Beasy goes from 5th to 8th in a matter of 1 corner. So again, a lot of aggressive driving here in stage 3. I think these guys know who they're chasing, who being the front 2 of Mark and Loderman. This 27 car, let's talk about him. Fairlane Cobra, huh? He's been able to get up here and get in the mix. 3rd place position, that's been his highest running position here tonight. Has won a stage and a pole this year, along with 2 top 5s, currently sitting 8th in the GFR points standings. So again, Fairlane, a guy that could look out for. Chief TP running in that 4th place position. Happy is our lone DNF of the night thus far. So again, 27 car. We know how important track position is here at Charlotte. And now that he has it, how is his car going to fare here with the top 2 of the 22 and the 48? Let's ride along with them here for just a few moments. Again, continuing to await that big strategy call here in just a moment. We'll have it here for you. 25 to go. 25 to go here in stage number 3 here in the Green Flag Racing League and the Checkered Past the Present YouTube channel. .23 laps to go, so our fuel window is going to be opening up here shortly. It's Mark McAttack winning stage 2, and even bigger than this race as we're here in stage 3, nearing the end of it. This is a guy who has now won 3 straight races here and trying to extend his point slate on the man running there in 2nd in Loderman. You look at the guy running there in 3rd in Fairlane Cobra. He's a guy who's a rookie here in GFR this season, really trying to make something big happen here tonight. And I think if he could make a big splash here, maybe get some respect, of some other guys running in his 3rd place position, I think is big enough. As he's going to follow Loderman to the inside. 48 car said, I've had a little bit too much time playing right along here. He wants to get out and lead some laps as the 27 is going to follow him. Where is the 22 going to merge back in at? Looks like he's going to try and catch the side draft of his former teammate as they go down in to 1, and the 48 is your brand new leader here. Again, just FYI, this is the completion of lap 26. This time around will be 20 to go. So after this time at the flag stand, I would surmise that this fuel window is going to be open. So again, for some of those guys, maybe marred down 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and beyond in points, will they come here or maybe within the next 2 to 3 laps try to short pit the stage and see how much time you can make up? I mean, you can look at it here, especially if we go to this camera angle for you guys. There's not that much space here between 1st and 10th, at least for right now. So again, do you short pit? If you do short pit, when do you short pit? As we'll look back to the pack, nobody's decided to come quite yet. That's going to be the interesting thing here with now 19 to go. 19 to go here in the stage. We don't see anybody pull down to the inside on the backstretch this time. Fairlane Cobra running in that P2 position. This has been his highest running position, tied for the highest, I should say, of the entire season here at Charlotte for him tonight. A guy of not too many words. Felt like he had a good race car here this evening, and obviously is kind of put on a show, able to drive from the back to get up here into this top 2 position. Again, fuel window open. Just going to keep putting that out there for the viewers at home. You got to keep putting these fillers out here, because with this fuel window open, I'm not shocked that no one's came yet. Again, if you short pitted here, how much of an advantage was it really going to put you at when you come down on those final 5 laps in the stage anyway, right? So now with it'll be 16 to go at the line this time. Guys are going to have to start pitting anyway, because you're about 3 to 5 laps away just naturally from running that tank dry. So now you can really short pit, and now when you shorten up the stage that way, tires and fuel aren't going to make that big of a difference whether you come right now or whether you don't. And, well, just as we say that, as the short pit king himself, Beasley's going to come down in the 5 car, Ken Rod in the 24, Jay White in the 16 also came down, and Cole Trickle in the 55. So these guys at the front here, the front 3, they're all going to continue to stay out. So it'll be interesting to see how Beasley and Co., how that group ends up coming out here. Again, this pit strategy, especially, we just can't reiterate enough. Stages 1 and 2 are straightforward. I mean, it's as straightforward as it can get, right? I mean, it's as straightforward as it could get there. As, again, now we're going to see Loderman in the 22 car come down pit road of Mark McAtack. So, again, the 20 car of C-Fan also with them. So, as we've done on most of the pit stops here tonight, we'll continue to follow along with our leaders as they're nearing the end of stage number 3. Again, our stage winners here tonight thus far have been C-Fan and Mark McAtack there in the 20 and the 22 cars, respectively. Loderman must have got a speed penalty. Well, we're gonna have to see how long it takes him to get off pit road here. Loderman in that 48 car did get a speeding penalty. That is going to be huge. As now the 22 team is going to merge back out in traffic. We talked about that 5 and 24. They got a lot of speed coming down that backstretch. A very, very, very big run. It's now the 22 who's back out on the track. It's the 27 car who was considered the leader. If he can beat him here, as now we'll try to see Fairlane Cobra merge back into traffic. As not going to have enough speed to beat that 22 car out of the pits, though. 27 is probably going to merge somewhere around, I don't know, it looks, might have a battle here for second and third. Man, that is big, big, big news, though, for the 48 car of Loderman. Man, he is going to fall way, way, way back. How many cars are we going to have here? It's going to be the 27 in second, the 20 in third, the 24 in fourth. The 9 car here in Chief TP's in fifth. Beasy there in the 5 car in sixth. 77 of Dunlap is going to be in seventh. Then Jay White in eighth. And then in ninth, it would appear that it is going to be, Cole Trickle. And then Loderman all the way back there. Man, that is a heartbreaker there for the 48 car. So, see if Mark is going to have some kind of competition here. I mean, who knows, right, at this point? I mean, he's dominated the night. He's coming to 10 to go here in stage number 3. So we'll continue to keep it locked on him here as we will take a short break here. Again, 10 to go in stage number 3. Look at that pack coming behind them. We'll continue to keep a close eye on that here for you. The Green Flag Racing League on the Checkered Past the Present YouTube channel. Seven laps to go for the man they call the Mac Attack. Mr. Mark here in stage number 3, trying to make it 3 races in a row that he has won, and well, trying to make it back-to-back stages for him to win tonight. So again, he's got to feel good about the place of where he's at, coming to 6 to go. C-Fan moving into that second place position. And again, here in a race where you can really make up some gains, you can also lose some traction as well, though. As, again, C-Fan moving up to that second place position here in the stage. Ken Rod behind him. They're in the third place position. Chief TP running 4th, Fairlane Cobra 5th, Beasy 6th. And again, just going to be Dunlap, I would believe, in 7th, Jay White in 8th, Cole Trickle in 9th, and Loderman all the way back in that 10th place position. So again, Mark McAttack got to feel real good about where he's at right now. Again, coming to 4 to go. 4 to go at the line right here for that 22 car. I mean, a guy that, you know, you look at, like we said, he's a leader in this league this year. He felt good about his Charlotte car. He's been looking to keep up the momentum. That's what he told us. And, well, right now somebody's got to figure out this pit strategy that he's been on, because if nobody figures it out, I mean, this is going to be a real easy race for him to win, especially in that stage number 4. If he can split the stages like he has with these 2 mandatory stops thus far, I mean, it's going to be easy as pie here for the man to win the race here tonight. So, again, when you're looking at it, that is now going to be 3 to go. 3 to go here now in the stage for Mark McAttack. So, again, with these 3 laps to go, Mark continuing to just plow down the race. Speeding penalty here on the second batch of green flag stops. So it's going to be a little bit difficult here for the 48 car to keep up points-wise, especially when you look at the year that he's had. I mean, this 48 car, man, I mean, he has had a year to where he's just been so close, right? I mean, he has been so close so many times for this guy here in Mark, and, well, now coming to 1 to go this time. I mean, it is just going to be another heartbreaker here for Loderman here in stage number 3, being second in the points and not going to be able to capitalize on these points here tonight. So we know Mark's going to win the stage. Now it's just a matter of where everybody else is going to finish. C-Fan looks like he's going to have second place on lock. This is going to be the big battle as we'll follow along with Beasy down the backstretch here. Will these cars just stay in place, or will they try to get some battling going on? Coming off of turn number 4, the 9 is going to get under the 24. A little pushing and shoving going on, but nothing crazy, as Mark will win the stage. And we will have our stage finishes coming out here for you shortly. So again, our stage finishes coming out here shortly. Again, looking at our stage finishers, it is going to be, again, Mark McAtack wins stages 2 and 3. C-Fan able to get another top 5 stage finish at 2nd. Ken Rod 3rd, Chief TP 4th, Beasy 5th, Fairlane Cobra 6th, Dunlap 7th, Jay White 8th, Loderman 9th, and Cole Trickle there in the 10th place position. So that's how all those guys end up loaded out there, as we'll start the 4th and final stage here from Charlotte. So again, Mark and C-Fan there on the front row. This is where the money is going to be made here tonight, as the 22 car will lead them down into turn number 1 for the first lap on the final stage. Again, the 18 to 20 laps has been your fuel window. And here in stage number 4, it is going to be officially 48 laps. 48 laps. Track position has also been king here tonight. Guys have gotten really aggressive here on these initial restarts of the stages. Does anybody have anything for this 22 car right now? 3 wide back there, battling for the 5th place position. Cole Trickle down there in the turf. He's able to get it back going the right way. Looked like he just got real wide coming off of that corner. As we settle in, it's Mark in first, C-Fan right on him in second. They're in the 24 car, Ken Rod in third, Fairlane Cobra in fourth. Merging into the 5th place position, it's going to be Dunlap. Loderman there in 6th, Beasy back there in 7th. In 8th is Chief TP. 9th is going to be Cole Trickle, and 10th is going to be Jay White. Getting 11th, and we'll finish 11th. It's going to be our lone DNF of Happy. So again, 2 manual cautions there in stage number 3. Both occurred within the first 22 laps of the stage. Those have been our lone 2 cautions outside of stage breaks here tonight. Stage 1 winner was C-Fan, now running in the 2nd place position. Mark McAtack has won the last 2 stages there in stages 2 and 3. So now everything is seemingly going to come out to strategy. These guys have been able to play nicely and follow in line here, but again, you just have to wonder how much longer before we get some beating and banging going on. I know we've had them during these cautions. I know we've seen guys get moved out of the way a couple times tonight, but how long before that starts to become a trend? As Mark's running about that lane and a half up on the front stretch there, but you see he's hovering that blue line down there in the middle of 1 and 2. That's something Loderman, we've seen him run about a lane and a half up off the bottom here tonight in turns 1 and 2, as well as 3 and 4. So again, this big breakaway. What is going to be 7-car breakaway up front, led by Mark McAtack. Not a whole lot of change, just a lot of maintaining going on right now, if you will. It's 5 laps down, 43 to go in the stage. It'll be completing lap 6 this time, 42 to go in the stage in the race. Ken Rod going to look inside. He's going to stay in the groove. However, that kind of backed up the line a little bit, which I think the 24 car was trying to do. Trying to get that launch down in there. Again, when you look at these guys up front, the 22 has won 3 straight races. But nobody else all the way back to the 48 and the 5. Those are only 2 race winners this season. So, I mean, everybody else, the other 8 cars in the field, they came in the race knowing tonight, we got to beat the 22. But then next on our list is the 48. Well, then Loderman having that speeding penalty there in stage number 3. Guys are able to set up some better track position, but don't count out that 48 right now just because he's marred back in the pack. Just a few cars running there in the 5th place position. I mean, he's still going to be somebody to be reckoned with down the stretch here. So again, Mark won a Road America, Bristol, and Kansas in his last 3 races, and his last 3 wins for that matter. Trying to win here the longest race of the year. 200 laps, 300 miles here in the Green Flag Racing League, and a 50% times 3 race here at Charlotte in the Coke 600. Kenrod, he continues to look down on that inside on the backstretch there in that colorful Exalta Chevrolet Camaro. Have not seen him try to make a pass yet, and again, why would he for that matter? Continuing to just play in line. We know the real race is going to come out when they start going down pit road anyway. And again, will the 22 continue to short pit? C-Fan maybe trying something different there, and does not work. He's going to have to stay in the draft. 38 laps to go here at the line this time. It'll be 10 down, 38 to go here in stage number 4 and in the race. So again, let's continue to watch these guys, and as we're halfway to our first pit stop, what might just be our next to last pit stop of the night, we'll take a short break here, and we will ride along on the front bumper of C-Fan. As you were watching the Green Flag Racing League here on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel. Well, as you just seen it there, with 35 laps to go, we've had a change in the hands, as now C-Fan has been able to retake the lead. We're riding along with Beasy now, heading into turn number 1. And Mark McAttack has gotten shifted all the way back to the 5th place position. So things, ladies and gentlemen, getting very, very, very interesting right now as Loderman and Mark, the 2 guys that have dominated this race, are running back in the 4th and 5th place positions respectively. And C-Fan, the name that we called all last year in season number 1, is back out to the point after winning stage number 1. Now, again, this is going to be 33 to go at the line. You got about 3 laps, give or take, on the fuel here. So when are these guys going to start coming down pit road is the question of the hour. We know that the 22 car has been very aggressive short pitting here tonight. And now that we just seen him get shifted out towards the back, will he come early here? We don't see anybody go way down towards that white line quite yet. Maybe some guys trying to push some fuel here. So we'll continue to watch, see if we get anybody on pit road or not. Does not look like we have. So now you got about 2 laps left in your tank. I figure we'll have some takers this time around as they come down the back stretch. Again, C-Fan has not currently won in season 2. Won 3 out of the last 4 races. Last time he was here in season number 1, just barely fell short of winning a championship. And yep, there come the takers. Beasy, Mark, Dunlap, Chief TP, as well as Cole Trickle, all going to come down pit road this time. Fairlane Cobra staying out along with Loderman, Kenrod, and the 20 car there of C-Fan. So we'll ride along with Mark. Again, their stage 2 and 3 winner. and then got shifted out there towards the back. Now, how will he come out in this pack, leading this pack into the pits? Can he regain the lead off of strategy, man? That's what's really going to be the kicker here. And again, just like stage number 3, you will be able to short pit here if you want to do so. You just seen that other pack continue to go by as these guys are going to come off of pit road. 22 car lead them off, 5 behind him, 77 behind him. And then there, bringing up the rear is going to be the 9 as well as the 16 car. So here comes the 27, the 48, and I have to assume the 20 car. Yeah, he's already gotten down there. That 48 car being awfully careful after we saw that speeding penalty that he had there in stage number 3. So C-Fan was our leader coming in the pits. Will he be our leader out of the pits? That is the question. So we're going to follow along with him. There comes Mark merging back up on the track. Now, could the 22 have gotten that good of an entry on and off pit road to have taken the lead? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it would surely seem so right now. So back up, we'll follow along now with Mark. 77 and a... You would have to assume they're going to have to try and hook up here with each other and now try to catch this 22. Come back around. Kenrod is listed as the leader. He's currently on pit road. So we'll see where the 24 will be able to merge back up in the pack here. And still sitting on pit road is that 24 car. Here come all of the old track guys right now as the 24 car is now going to try and exit. And, well, obviously he's going to get beat to the punch there. As the 22 is back to the lead after he's able to short pit yet again. The 20 car falls back to second. So after C-Fan's able to get out and lead a couple laps, Mark just been so good getting on and off pit road, and now the only remaining stop, that money stop. How do you beat this man tonight, I think, is the question everybody's asking. Loderman had the formula in there, but again, he's kind of been mired by a couple of pit road issues here tonight. Maybe a little bit too slow, maybe too conservative after that pit road penalty last time. Chief TP running 2 spaces in front of him. Cole Trickle back up in there. Kenrod way off the pace back there. Again, C-Fan in second. Beezy's going to be in third here with Dunlap in fourth behind him. And then again, Fairlane Cobra fifth. Chief TP in sixth. And battling for seventh there, Cole Trickle. And going to be Loderman. Back to the front here with Mark. Again, 25 laps to go at the line this time. I know we're talking pit strategy, but it's something worthy to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, because with this strategy here tonight, with the 22 car, with him short pitting, it seems like your only play that you're going to have is to come in with about 18 to go and try to flip it on him, because right now, if you short pit, it's really the only thing you got on him. 22's been good in traffic tonight. He's obviously been really good out front. The only guy that's been able to catch him was Loderman on about 3-lap younger tires, and that was towards the end of stage number 2. Didn't make up that much ground on him anyway, though. So how will things play out, and will Mark end up getting his 4th consecutive win here of season 2? I mean, this guy has dominated this year, man. And you look at what he's done tonight. The dude has already accumulated what? I mean, he won stages 2 and 3. It's just 20 points right there. Out of the possible 30, he's accumulated 28. He finished 3rd there in stage number 1, which we thought at that time was a bad run for him. And again, finished 3rd in stage 1, win stages 2 and 3. He already has 28 points. He's banked here tonight. Now he's trying to win the race. And I mean, you talk about a 68-point night he could have here, and he already has the points lead, and he could be leaving with that 68 points on the rest of the field. I mean, man, that is going to do wonders here in this regular season standpoint for this man here piloting the yellow and red Shell Pennzoil Mustang here for Team Penske. 22 laps to go as he'll come by the line that time. Again, in this 300-mile race, 50% times 3 here in GFR. You can tell that C-Fan back there in the second place position, I mean, he's giving it everything he's got right now, but I just don't know how much more he's gotten. Dunlap, shout out to him, highest running position for him tonight in third. Fairlane Cobra battling here for that position. Beasley's falling back to fifth, as that will round out your top 5 running order. And Loderman, well, he's going to be somebody to mention here, as now he's challenging to get up in the top 5. And actually will enter the top 5, maybe the top 4, if he can complete this pass, in which he does. Now Loderman going to give a little bit of a door there to the 27 car Fairlane Cobra. So Loderman has went from starting this stage in the 7th place position to now, as everything sorts back out, Loderman is going to move into the top 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is where things are going to get interesting. 20 laps to go. Loderman obviously has a lot of speed there in that white 48 Ally Camaro. So does he try to be the guy to short pit here and catch up with these top 2? Again, and you can see this pack led by the 48 car. Maybe if they could catch the 20, I mean, they might would have something there for the 22 of Mark, but I just don't know. That's a lot of space, as you ladies and gentlemen can see at home there, to even try and make up. I think the thing that these guys are praying for right now is a caution flag or some kind of mistake from this 22 getting on and off pit road, because right now that seems to be the only thing that can mess this guy up and derail his night. 18 laps to go is the mark here at the line. We'll continue to look through the pack. Again, Loderman is running in 3rd. C-Fan running there in 2nd. Chief TP's running in 5th. Beasley's running in 5th. Fairlane Cobra running in the 4th position. Happy DNF'd early there in stage number 1. His night was over early. Dunlap running 6th. TCR Kenrod, well, we missed it, but he's taking that pit stop. So now how is things going to change for him? Jay White running back there in the 9th position. Cole Trickle, Chief TP, they are battling there for 7th. All right, looks like we got some takers for some guys who are going to start the short pit here. Dunlap's coming down this time. Who else is going to come down with him here is the question of the hour. The 77 and the 55 are going to come down this time. So guys, his fuel tanks are starting to run dry anyway. Now when will we see Mark come down pit road? Well, we see him hit the swivel, the hard left, and then now he's going to come. So we've seen a couple guys try to out short pit the short pitter tonight, and it doesn't look like that's going to work too well. The 22 and the 20 are going to come, and any ground you can make up, the 20 is going to try to make up before he slams on the brakes. The 48 and the 5 also doing much of the same. So the money stop here for these guys, cannot afford a pit road penalty right here. And you're going to have to fill it about all the way up to the pack, as you got about 15, 16 laps to go. As Jay White had some issues getting on pit road, but able to do so. See how long these stops last here and how well everybody's able to get back off. Anybody try to take 2 tires here and maybe get off pit road before Mark? '20-car C-Fan, he did make up some time getting on pit road. As here comes the 22, the 20 behind him. Here comes after that the 5, the 48. How everything's shaky out here. I mean, it looks like right now it is the race to lose for the 22 Dunlap. We saw him short pit. He's going to be soaring down the backstretch, but I don't think he's going to have enough to get up here near these guys, as he will plateau about out at 4th. So now as Mark comes back around, he's going to make his way past pit road. The 27 car Fairlane Cobra, your leader, now back to the hands of the 22 car. So again, a caution could be the only thing to derail the night right now, Mark. As knock on wood here, not trying to jinx him. It doesn't look like he's going to make any mistakes anytime soon. As he comes by this time, 13 laps to go for the man piloting the Shell Pennzoil number 22 Mustang. Loderman's back here in the pack after, along with Mark, dominating the majority of this race. C-Fan in second, battle for third there involving Beasy, Dunlap, and Fairlane Cobra. Now we're going to go 3 wide here into turn number 3. How's this going to shake out? The 27 gets up into the fence. 48 pushes up on the 77. Here comes the 5 on the bottom line. That's some real good racing back here in the pack. You see these guys racing right now. They probably need to hook up. If there's any chance right now of catching this 22 car under green flag, as the 27 catches the left rear quarter panel of the 5, moves him back up out of the way. Perhaps a little bit of payback there, as Loderman's going to scoot boot and boogie on down into turn number 3 and back into the third place position. So now 11 to go that time at the line. Back here, take a look at the 48 car. And again, when you look at the 22, I mean, it looks like he's pulling away here from the 20. I mean, the only thing that could derail his night right now, ladies and gentlemen, is a caution. Literally, quite literally the only thing that could derail the night of the 22 would be a caution. I mean, we haven't seen him slip up all night long, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. 24 car is slow on the front stretch. It was slow on the front stretch. It looks like he's going to be slow somewhere else on the track now. We'll continue to keep a lookout for that, as 22 car is slow enough, it would appear. So perhaps we did have a caution somewhere back in the pack that we missed somehow. As there is the 24 car. Looked like he might have been involved in something in the 55. All right, ladies and gentlemen, things are going to get hairy here as everybody's going to come down pit road. Manual caution. You know what that means. We're going to take a time to gather our breaths, and we're going to have an exciting 10 or so laps of racing here shortly. All right, so 9 laps to go, and we kept talking about it. A caution was going to be the only thing that derailed this race. Something happened between the 55 and the 24 cars. They're deep in the pack, and well, now Mark McAtack has to defend this big-time surge attack. Everybody behind him. Looks like C-Fan's going to take the outside there on the front row. There on row number 2, it's going to be the 48 car of Loderman, who helped dominate the large part of this race. Back in the mix outside of him there, looks like the 27 car Fairlane Cobra. Row number 3 is going to be Dunlap and Chief TP, and then Beasy and Jay White will round out row number 4, excuse me. Here comes Mark to lead them back to the green flag here at Charlotte. Down into turn number 1. C-Fan running second. 8 laps to go. Does Mark have a plan to get away? He has been good on the short run, the long run, whatever run you've wanted here tonight. It has been the 22 to lose as the 20 gets him a little sideways going down there in the 3. These guys flare out into the wall in the back. 48 car is going to hold on to 3rd. Dunlap up to 4th. Beasy in 5th. The 20 car, who's had a really, really good run tonight. 7 to go trying to chase down the 22. Again, C-Fan won the first stage. Mark won stages 2 and 3. And now, with the help of the draft, the 48 is going to close back in. Dunlap on his bumper. If Beasy could catch it, it could be a 5-car race to the end. Doesn't look like that's going to be in just 4 cars here. Ford, Toyota, Chevrolet, and another Chevy there here in the top 4 with 6 to go. C-Fan's going to need a tango partner, though, out back here to look like he's going to have a chance on Mark. And here comes the 48 to his assistance. Oh, he hits the apron. The 20 car is going to get under him. C-Fan, side by side, is going to clear him off turn number 4. And Mark has some issues. He's going to fall to first, potentially all the way back to 4th here with 5 to go into turn number 1. So C-Fan now to the point. Loderman right behind him. You know he's licking his chops. Got that speeding ticket there, and he got it punched big time there in stage number 3 and has been able to crawl his way back up here to the top 5. 4 laps to go as the 20 car crosses the stripes that time. Man, it's getting good here at Charlotte. After a manual caution moments ago between Cole Trickle and the 55 and the 24 car of Ken Rod, we bunched things back up, and Mark McAtack would have made away with his 4th straight win as the 48 throws a really big block down the back stretch. Not big enough, though, as the 22 would get under him. C-Fan loves to see this, a little side-by-side racing. Coming to 3 laps to go at the line this time by. The 22 car is going to have to make his pass real fast as he'll make some contact there with a 77 that's going to knock him back a couple watches. We'll be able to get back under the 77. Still a 3-car race. 48 car's been running a lane and a half up that apron all night long. Now the 20 car of C-Fan. He's looking for his first win all year long. Last year at Charlotte, again, could have won the championship, lost it to Happy, and now here tonight, could this be his revenge? 2 laps to go for C-Fan. Again, he's got to face the surge here of the 1st and 2nd place points guys behind him. Loderman in 2nd, they're in 2nd place, and our points leader there in that 22 car, Mark McAtack, who has dominated this race here tonight. White flag this time by. C-Fan trying to protect the inside. Loderman making a big run. Now Loderman's going to have to throw a block. Not a good enough block, though. As, again, C-Fan trying to make out as a hero. Has not won yet here in season number 2 as they come off turn number 4. The man into the Walt Toyota camera throws a block, and he will win it here in Charlotte. What a finish, as C-Fan will get win number 1 of season number 2. Loderman in 2nd. And they're in 3rd. Mark McAtack gotta be feeling a lot of sorrow after that caution in which he felt like he absolutely had it in the bag after that last manual caution. Man, what a race. As again, the number 20 Joe Gibbs, the Walt Toyota Camry, is going to come across with his first win of season number 2. He kept telling us he never thought he'd make it back to victory lane. Well, tonight was tonight for C-Fan, as we'll have those guys, the top 3, join us here in the booth momentarily here on the Green Flag Racing League on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel. All right, guys are going to start rolling in now, and again, we're going to get this party quite literally started here. As again, it's post race time. Looks like we got Loderman and C-Fan in here. We're going to wait and see if we can also get Mark in here to talk with us post race as well. So again, that 1-2-3 exciting finish there. C-Fan able to come across with his first win of the year. Loderman there in second, and there Mark is able to join as we'll get Mark on the line here. Wait for him to get all loaded in. Mark, P3 finish for you tonight, man, and a race that you had to feel like you had won all the way up until that last manual caution. Just kind of tell us that last run there and what might have won, and obviously, inevitably, what lost you the race there.
Just that caution with 10 to go. I'm going to try and keep my cool as best I can. But, for one person to wreck on their own with 10 to go and spin out and nobody else was involved, I don't understand why that's a manual at all. That's pretty BS in my opinion. And then, the rest is history. Got passed and got freight trained, and the rest is rest. But good run overall, but, I just don't know what to say about that other than that a load of crap in my opinion. But we'll move on from it, and we'll try and get him next time.
Another top three finish for Mark. We'll still lead the points after this week, but obviously wanted to make it 4 straight victories. Mark McIntyre finishes in the third place position. Now we're going to talk to our man that ends up finishing in P2 position, which is going to be Mr. Loderman. Loderman, let's go back to stage 3 there. Looked like you had a pit road speeding penalty, and then you're able to recover from it, get all the way up back to the top 3, finishing in P2. Just kind of tell us about that and tell us about your night as a whole.
Yeah, I had a great car, man. Good racing and all that. I couldn't learn it getting in the pit road on 3. I was all the pieces down through there. It was mouthful, black flagging. So, but I recovered good, had a good race, buddy, and glad to be able to run for that 20 car, son. It was fast.
Talk about bringing back some nostalgia from last year. You guys had a lot of battles. That was another fun one to watch tonight. What would you have done differently there against the 20 car in those last 3 laps to maybe get around them? I know you were having to fend off some big time blocks there, throw some big time blocks on the 22 behind you. You're doing more mirror driving maybe than driving out the windshield. But what more did you have for the 20 car there?
I probably could have got the 20 maybe, but I might have messed my race up too. You know what I'm saying? So you got to race smart. So I just stayed in line.
Loderman with another top 5. That's going to be his 5th top 5 of the year. He will keep on trucking second in points as we leave Charlotte. And then the winner. You know what? Let's get this out of the way here first. C-Fan's always telling us, I don't know if I'll ever get victory lane again. He was all down and out about what happened last year here at Charlotte. Maybe a little revenge here for tonight. You win stage 1, and in stage 2, you got involved in a bit of an incident that knocked you down. I think you ended up finishing 8th in stage 2. Stage 3 had a good finish, and then I think you had to be thinking your stars or whatever you think as you saw that manual come out there in stage 4. And then tell us about that last 9 laps and how you're able to get the lead and not relinquish it.
I'll tell you, man, I got to thank the NASCAR gods there for the manual caution coming out with 10 to go. I don't think I could have caught the 22. He got on off pit road a little bit better than me. Kind of gapped me there, and I just couldn't ever get to him. But, yeah, I mean, that's the reason why you stay in it and just hope and pray you get a caution, and I got one. And sure enough, man, made the move there on the bottom of the track, and he bounced the apron a little bit there, and I slid up underneath him, and I know I had Loader back there pushing me. He's my good pal, and I hate to block him, but you're going for the win, and he raced me clean, and I got to thank him for that, and thank you for the push there, old 48 car.
Yeah, man, anytime, pal. Good win.
Thank you, buddy.
At C-Fed, I think the biggest question we got for you now, I mean, you won 3 out of the last 4 races in season 1. I mean, you and Loderman absolutely dominated those final 10 races. Now you've been on a winless streak to start this year. You obviously break that here tonight. what does this do for your momentum now moving forward into this long stretch of races as we move towards the middle of the regular season here in season number 2?
Well, it definitely helps the motivation here. I mean, it's challenging this year. We got a lot top notch drivers over here this year, and it's gonna be challenging to get these wins this year. And makes me feel really good. I got lucky tonight. I mean, I really did. I felt like the 22, he was probably going to win that if the caution didn't come out. And yeah, I mean, I'm just fortunate enough to win this because we've got a couple good tracks coming up for me. I'm decent at the Roval, so I mean, maybe we can get another one there.
Speaking of the Roval, that's where we're going next week, staying here at Charlotte. Different configuration here in the Green Flag Racing League. But again, it's our top 3 here tonight. Mark McAtack in third. Obviously not pleased with his third place finish. Maybe felt like he should have had the win. Loderman there in second, and then C-Fan with his first win of season number 2 here in the Coke 600 at Charlotte. And again, we'll be at the Roval next Wednesday night at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. Until then, stay safe and stay blessed. This has been another broadcast of the Green Flag Racing League.